back, everyone. Ugh. My life with plants. Watering the cacti today. Make sure you water them thoroughly. Drying out pretty quick. Ammonium sulfate I've added to the water to bring the pH down. I was using white vinegar and now I'm using this now. I made sure I dissolved it with hot water before adding it. I took a pH test. Might look ridiculous because I keep going over the same plant, but make sure that you water it right in there. There'll be air pockets. Some of the potting medium won't get thoroughly wet or soaked. Today's a good day to do it because it's quite mild, the weather. So it'll give them time to suck up more water. Ammonium sulfate. Check it out on Elton's website, the famous cacti grower, and you'll see that it's been used as a pH adjustment. We all know that cacti, a lot of them grow on limestone and gypsum, and that's confuses us because gypsum and those kind of mineral rocks are actually alkaline, but it's the rainwater is what makes them grow. Opportunistic plants are cacti, and they tend to grow on those places where other plants just can't survive at all. But when it comes to the growing, they need acidic rainwater that triggers their growing pattern. And so here we're just doing exactly that. Anyway, I gotta keep going. Here we are here. This is ammonium sulfate. I got 3 bags of it. It could last me a couple of years or more, because I don't water too often, definitely not in the summer that much. I just water mainly spring and late autumn. Yeah, it's a granular form. It's granular at first. So here it is here. So it grains. As soon as it hits the water, it will bring the pH down. It's best to dissolve this completely before adding it to the water. So I'm going to put a little boiling water into here and make sure that it's properly dissolved before adding it to water. And I will give the cacti a little fertilizer, because as they get watered, they benefit from a little fertilizer. There is a slow release animal dung pellets, which is processed chicken manure, but it's super slow release. This will just give them a bit of a boost. Anyway, time to get on with the job. Yeah. Next one's the water. Up here is the Revutia. I'm sure they get a lot of water. Suppose you're wondering why these cacti are so high up here. It's these are the mountainous ones, your Matacana and your Oroya. So they actually like being up higher on the shelf. It gets morning sunshine, afternoon it's shaded from the eaves. Also during the heat of the summer, this is the coolest place, because down there is sweltering. So heat rises. The closer you are to the ground, the hotter it is. Yeah. Some of them I have to take down to water. This mammal area here. Over here we've got the roadkill cactus. Give it a big drink. It's my one and only Kalanchoe tomentosa. Here are Sorencia formosa hybrids. I don't know what kind of flower they're going to have or anything. I picked them up at the store. Good thing about these plants, beautiful flowers, easy to grow even when we get this cold winter climate. You utilize every space I have. Not a cactus, but this is a Dendromium monoliform, a native of Japan. Got them growing in there. Okay. Got to get up on the stool here so I can reach. But also I have to move a couple of lithops because they won't appreciate water now. They are starting to absorb the last year's tissue here into the new growth. So you know, if you water them, it'll stunt their growth tremendously, and you don't want to do that. So you got to move them. Up we go. What are this Matacana? It's had a couple of flowers already. Even got a Sulfate Roshii up here too. Puna. And Eriosyce nervosa. You can't see up here. I'll give you a peeky little look in a minute. After I finish drowning them. Okay. It's not a very well formed Matakana at all. It's healthy. It just needs to do a whole lot more growing before it gets its nice globular look back. It's a Ferrocactus Hematocanthus. This so-called Butia rauschii, Epiplantha micronermis. If we can see there are ears. Over the back here you got your Puna bonii. There's a kind of a Labiviopsis hybrid. Eriosyce nervosa, Oroya peruviana. All growing up here with this orchid, Dendrobium. Try to give it some more light, hoping it'll get buds. Didn't get any buds, and that's because I had it inside. Probably wants to get a lot colder to trigger the flowering. Okay. This is a mammillaria that I haven't labeled yet. It grows almost like a snake in the end and hangs over. These are my Ficarias. They're looking good now, but now lots of growth. Haematocatus setaspinus. It's starting to bud up. Canthocalycium spiniflorum. You can see all those buds. It's budding up nicely. Here's my Copiopoa hypogaea. Well, we know what that one is. I'll put it on the screen. Just name evaded me for a second there. Down here you got your Homalocephalotexensis, one of them, and then the second one here. That's a very hardy cactus. It's another Setaspinus, one of my Echinopsis hybrids. And it's a kind of South African succulent. I'll put the name up on the screen if I can. It's got all these flower buds. Some of the flowers are open now. Welcome back. Let's just have a little look at what's in bud. This is a Trichoceras huasha, and it's got lots of buds forming there. This is a Gymnocalycium denudatum. You can see the new spines there. They're kind of like a nylon light yellow, and it's got a couple of buds. It got some scarring around it. I'm not sure what caused it. It could have been excessive humidity last summer. It could have been a number of things, but the good thing is that it's come back to life again, so it's fine, growing well. These are some babies. I'm an Echinopsis guy, so I like to get different varieties. What else is in flower? Well, this one is in flower here. It's Mammillaria marxiana. It's been flowering well. A species of Mammillaria here. This one's Nasia pensis. Still got a flower open there. It's dichotomous, so it splits in two to make another head or another body. My big giant Gymnocalycium saglionis, and it's got nice buds there. This is my favorite cactus. I like its big chunky body and spines, and the flowers are magnificent too. This Mammillaria magnumum has been flowering for me. Up here is a Thalocactus Magdalii, and you can see there it's already had one flower. This is the second time it's flowered since having it. Another Trichoceros huasha. This is Mammillaria Humboldtii variety cespitosa. It's been flowering well. The Glory of Texas Thalocactus bicolor. It's got a bud right in there. These have been flowering fine. Elongatas. Down here is a Labivia arachnacantha that has bright yellow flowers. It's got buds. Grusonii, which is a huge growing Mammillaria. Parodia mammilosa. They moved it up a bit higher so it'll get flowering. Likes a lot of water and it's trying to produce flowers. So when it's just about dried out, you should give it another thorough water. What else is in bud? Well, a lot of gymnos are in bud now. Not this one yet. Monvelii. It's probably still growing a root system. Labivia hybrid that I've been using to cross with because it's a profusely flowering variety. Notocactus atonus. Let's see what else. If I missed anything. The Homalocephala texensis with a nice big bud there. Nothing else is in bud. No. I'll take a quick look at this because I grafted it. I grafted this Puna bonii on a vigorous Echinopsis stock. So I'm looking forward to see how big that gets. Can have a little check down here. These are my Echinopsis hybrids. I've had to do a few things to get better at growing from seed. They kind of reached the point where they just didn't grow anymore, and what I did is I scooped them out of their growing tray, and then I filled the bottom with fresh mix, and I got them growing again. But don't forget to give them a little bit of a feed, and also keep their pH around 5.5. Otherwise they'll just stop growing altogether. Anyway, that's it for this episode, based on me watering my cacti. A lot of growers will actually water their cacti twice. They'll give it a good thorough watering with a hose, and then I will add the good stuff after. So the second watering will have the pH adjustment with the ammonium sulfate and a little bit of fertilizer. So make sure you water them well before you add the fertilizer. Well, in my case I added the fertilizer, but I watered it really deeply. Anyway, stay tuned for next time, because we're going to have a nice tour of my orchids and houseplants. Until next time, see you. Bye. Happy growing.